most people know that I was born and raised a Southern Baptist. And the Southern Baptist...
And still recovering.
And still recovering. And the Southern Baptist preachers preach stewardship.
Yeah.
And one of the topics that they love to work on is the topic of the woman who lost her coins and wanted to give it to the church or to give it to the synagogue, and how important that was to her, and that she gives everything that she has to God. And my mom and dad did not have that much money. We were given a small allowance, and we were expected to give at least 10% of what we were given as children to the church every week. Whether it was during the church offering or whether it was during the Sunday school offering, we were expected to give that money. And it has continued on throughout. So the church led my mom and dad to give, and the church has led me to give by the topics that were ingrained in me as a young person. It has been very important to me to be able to give, no matter what I had. Sometimes it's been tough. Sometimes it hasn't been so tough. As we went into our retirement years, things have gotten tougher, and it's working, but we always know that God will be there to take care of us. Giving to God is taking what I have and giving it to Him, because He gave His life for us. Most people can't understand how you feel when you give to the church. Now, I can give to anybody I want to. I can give to the refugees, or I could give to something else. But giving to the church, knowing that I am supporting their mission, supporting the activities, supporting the youth, doing this is how I feel better. Now, giving monetarily is not the only way that you can give to the church. Mm-hmm. You can give to the church your time and your talents. Mm-hmm. We're not rich, mm-hmm. so therefore we try to help out here at church. My wife and I, we spend a lot of time here cooking meals, serving the homeless, serving at church receptions. And I feel like that is part of my time and my talents and my gift to God. I'm giving back to Him what He's given to me. Because if it had not been for Him, I wouldn't have anything. I wouldn't have my salvation. It all ties in together, giving and going from there. Going from giving comfortably, and I guess when we start out, most people, they just feel like if they give $10, $15, $20, that's okay. We moved down here from Tennessee. When I moved with a company that I didn't like, so I left them on Christmas Eve. Evelyn said I was crazy, but I knew that God would take care of us. 31 days later, I found another job, but it was almost a third of the pay that I was receiving beforehand. Evie and I talked about it. We prayed over it, but we continued to give our same amount of offering to the church that we were giving, even though to us, it was sacrificial, mm-hmm. because we had a young son, we had another child on the way, which was a surprise, and we had all of our other bills that we had to pay. But because of that, God took care of us. I moved up in the bank very rapidly. My pay increased rapidly for being in a bank. And then, as my salary increased, our giving continued to increase because we felt like He had taken care of us when we weren't able to really give. And we needed to give back to Him what He had given to us. By giving, it has improved my life. It has made me closer to my God. He walks with me when I'm troubled. I know He's there. When I need Him, I can call upon Him, and He doesn't answer all prayers. He answers in His own good time. You don't always understand why He's answering it when He does it, how He does it, but you accept it. But by the giving, I know that He is working for me and I'm working for Him. And that's the most important thing, is to know that He's there for me. If I didn't give, I would feel like I'm cheating Him, because He's giving me so much. He's given me 2 beautiful children, a lovely wife, a nice marriage for 45 years. And He has taken good care of us. He is really going with that. We try on the first of the month to write that check. And it's for the whole month. And we don't know if there's going to be enough money at the end of the month. But God has never let us down. Somewhere, somehow, there's been money that has come in that has been unexpected. A check or a bill could have been paid off and I had forgotten about it. But there's always money at the end of the month. It may only be $1 or $2, but God has always made sure that by the end of the month we had enough money to pay all of our bills. And we try to give. We're not at 10%. I wish we were. We're close. We're very close. But I would like to be able to give more. But with a child whose husband's been unemployed for 2 years, a lot of it has been going to them. And I feel like that God understands that by helping your children, you're also helping Him. And that money that I would have been given to the church, in addition to what I normally would give, is going to an outreach for Him. So, it works both ways. It doesn't matter how much you make, you still owe it to God to give Him His due portion. You can be rich and write a check for $100, and you can be poor and write a check for $5. That $5 in God's eyesight is just as great as that $100 that a rich man made. My whole upbringing has been, you give to God what you can, and then you try to give more. I know in the last capital campaign, I was working, and I was able to take some stock that I had. I gave it to the church to take care of my donation. But then there were extra pleas to give in addition to what you've given. And Evie and I talked about it. We prayed over it. And we continued to give additional funds. It wasn't that much, but it was over and above what we had. And it was in addition to what we normally would give to the church. Just because we gave to the capital campaign did not mean that we cut back on our giving to the general fund, because giving to the general fund is just as important as any capital campaign that you have, because you still got to run this church and you still got to do God's will.